Oh, fuck, I got it.
You do realize we're live right now.
Oh, no, I don't. Sorry. I'm playing my game.
Hello, everybody. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Unsealed, a production of the Racing Insiders podcast and Crate Insider. Of course, I am Kate Dillon from Crate Insider and all the things, sitting here today with Steve Hendren from Hendren Racing Engines, and we are trying something new today. We are going live. We're streaming from Streamyard, which means we are streaming to both YouTube and to Facebook. So this is kind of a new experience. Steve is still trying to work on his golf game.
Yeah,
apparently.
sorry, I'm playing Golf Clash.
Golf
One
Clash.
second. I got like a playoff thing to do here.
Wow. Bad timing. Bad timing. Well,
No,
I want
I'm
to
sorry.
say hello to everybody. I see Scott is here from California. So Scott is always on our broadcast. Thank you so much for being here, Scott. And when Steve's done, is this literally the last shot here?
This is the last shot, yeah.
Okay, good.
Probably because I'm going to freaking lose.
Okay, I see
Wait,
Jim is here. Well,
actually
not
win.
nobody can see that.
We'll see what happens.
All right, so I see Jim's here.
Might be good.
Welcome. I guess we can ask, so how's your golf game going, Steve?
Yeah, I've lost 3 freaking games in a row, so I'm
Okay.
trying to win one.
Okay. Okay.
Because I play on, so if anybody doesn't know, I play Golf Clash. So I play on Cat Daddy, his team,
Okay.
Clint Smith. So
Right.
he's the team owner, and I'm on his team. So we're playing golf.
Great.
We're racers trying to golf.
Yeah. Well, that's better than golfers trying to race.
Well, that's true too. Yeah. We are potentially multi-talented. They are not.
Yeah, I don't know about all that. I see Brandon is
Well,
here.
I mean, we know what's his name can't drive.
I don't know who you're talking about.
Tiger Woods.
Oh. I think it's still a little soon for that, Steve.
Yeah, it probably is.
It's a little soon. Too soon.
And do I win or do I lose? Son of a freaking whore. I think I lost.
Oh, okay. Great. Well, I think let's move on.
Hang on.
And now you got what? One more shot? Or
Yeah, I lost.
Okay.
No,
Oh,
I
you
lost.
lost. Okay.
I lost by 1 yard.
Yeah. Close accounts apparently counts in horseshoes, hand grenade, and golf clash.
Well, yeah.
Right.
There's that.
Okay. So let's kick off the
All right.
podcast and
officially
talk
done.
about what are you drinking today, Steve?
Just ultra.
Just ultra.
Yeah.
Going basic.
Basic bitch.
Okay. I am drinking water because I already went to the Mexican restaurant and had a chilada, so I'm good. Yeah. So I didn't save it for the show.
Boring.
Well, you know what? Yeah, I'm the voice of reason on this podcast.
This is true.
All right. I see. Roy's like, oh, hey now. Josh is here. Derek is here. Wayne is here. And Bob and Brian. Oh, Brian says at least it stopped raining. Oh my goodness.
It kind of did, but
It rained like freaking crazy the other day.
pretty fugly here now. So.
I mean, the other night, I just couldn't believe it. It's like it started raining and it just kept going and kept going and kept going. It did.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if it even stopped. I went to bed. And William's here from South Georgia. So yeah, thank you guys all for tuning in.
Yep.
And so do I want to ask you the question I normally ask you, where I ask you how your week was?
No.
Okay.
No, but I can say I've got. We've been stuck here recently because of 604s and 602 engines, and I've got a backlog of new 602 engines to do, and I think I've got a solution now to where we'll be able to get guys out the door.
Oh, good. I'm glad to hear that.
It's been an issue, seriously.
No,
604s have been a real issue. I had some setback, and I ended up being able to purchase one from a different dealer than who I would normally deal with, and so like the 4 604s I got on new ones that I've got on backlog, I've got covered. I'm pretty sure I've got 6 602s that are new ones that have to be done. So I've got those on. I think I've got those covered too. So
yeah. Might need to help you.
Because I mean, none of us knew that this shit was going to happen.
No, we did not.
I mean,
no.
GM didn't call all of us and say, "Hey, by the way, we're running out of engines and you guys are screwed." So.
Well, I would say that they also probably didn't anticipate the demand that has also been out of sight. I mean, 602s
Right.
and 604s are the new toilet paper.
Correct.
They're like the toilet paper of 2021.
It is, honestly.
You know, not only was there just normal supply, but then once people started hearing that there was sort of going to be a shortage,
No,
then they rushed out and
the new toilet paper, the new 9mm.
Yeah.
Because you can't buy 9mm.
Oh, actually,
either.
One of my shirt today is one of my Glock tank tops.
Is it? Okay.
It is. Yeah. Yeah. So I'm not going to shoot my Glock because, I don't want to waste any ammo, but I'll wear the tank top.
AFCO shirt.
Yes. Big shout out to our friends over at AFCO. Yeah. Fantastic.
Especially Ben.
Yes. Yes, absolutely. Now, if you guys have any questions, feel free to drop them into the comments. So I got my oil change this week. I know that's really exciting.
In the car?
In the car.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I was going to say, wow.
Just no.
Right.
So check this out. So, normally you guys do it at the shop for me, but I know you've been super busy. So I was like, you know what? I'm just going to take a simple solution. I'm going to go to a local oil change place. It's like a quarter of a mile from here. Probably pay a little bit more, but it'll be okay. So they came back with their 30, they're going to rotate my tires. They came back with their 30-point inspection. I go in for a $40 or $50 oil change, and they give me the laundry list of about $1,300 worth of stuff that,
because
my car needs.
Because you're a woman.
Well, I guess, I don't know. For anything from the air filter to my CV boots are going out, and I need brakes and I need rear brakes. Like, I didn't even know it's a front wheel drive car. I didn't know that it actually had brakes in the back, but I know you're going to look at me like I'm an idiot. I don't know. I mean, I don't do any of those things. So check this out. So this is new. Now you knew that part, but you didn't know this new part. So I said, CV joints, like, is that part of the powertrain? And they were like, well, sometimes it is, sometimes it isn't. I'm like, I don't know. I've got a lifetime powertrain warranty that I've been wanting to turn in to Mike Johnson's Hickory Toyota.
Yeah,
I will never buy a car.
Totally ass fucked you out of a car.
Well, I wouldn't quite go that far.
I would, because it was a freaking fleet car.
Yeah.
That had stickers bleeding through the paint.
Yes. And all I wanted them to do is paint my car.
Do not buy a Toyota from there.
Do not. But, but anyway. So they said, well, it's kind of a hit or miss. So today I was like, you know what? I'm going to go look at my warranty paperwork. Well, I found it. Guess what? You're supposed to go in there at least once every 5 years for them to do a mechanical inspection in order to in order to maintain the lifetime powertrain warranty. So now I can't even cash in.
Just go park that thing in front of there with a giant lemon on top and say, I bought this here and this place sucks.
Yeah, well, yeah, I don't know. Okay. Anyway, so now I'm super bummed that I can't turn in my lifetime powertrain warranty. So I'm just saying, if you've got any kind of warranty paperwork of any kind, check it. Just, that way you can kind of keep at least every 5 years, maintain. Okay. So Brody says, how far out on 604s?
We're still waiting on 604s to come off back order.
Yeah.
So I don't know, honestly. I've heard middle of April when they're released. I've heard into April. I've heard.
Yeah, there's not a clear, like nobody's issued a press release on
May.
it.
I've heard there's no telling, because honestly, I think the people at the top of GM don't know what the hell's going on at the lower part of GM. So there's a massive discommunication there.
Well, I would have to say that I don't know when you take a bathroom break at the shop and I work here. Right. So, I mean,
what's happened is, like, GM after the bankruptcy thing, they went to shit. So, like, after the bankruptcy deal that they went through, you've got like one dude doing the job of 12, right? Mm-hmm. And so
let's not complain about GM.
I'm not going to complain about it. I'm just saying this is how it is. And they know that's how it is. So,
Well, I think
I get your point.
Yeah, I mean, I'm grateful.
But I mean, if you're going to be the main supplier of probably 70% of racing in the United States, you better get your shit together.
Yeah, well, I mean, when we're 1% of their overall sales, I don't think that we're number one priority either.
Yeah, but when you're their biggest profit, you probably should.
Well, I don't know if we are. So Jason asks, so I'm going to go ahead and we're going to try something new here. Check this out. Let's see what happens here if I can do it. Oh, look at that. Jason asks, can you run Ford equivalent to a GM crate engine legally? Thing is, there's really only rules in asphalt.
There's like asphalt has a couple, like Asphalt Racing and a few series have like that deal, but like for dirt, I don't know. I mean, we're talking apples and oranges, honestly.
Yeah, well, because
it's not apples and apples at all.
I mean, because the closest we've got is the 427 Junior, which would be like the 604,
347 Junior,
347. Yeah, that's what I was trying to think of. And it's supposed to be like the 604 equivalent, but it's really not because it has way more horsepower. And
Well, it's got more horsepower but less torque. So like
Right.
a lot of the asphalt stuff, if guys are running like momentum style asphalt tracks, they're going to run a Ford. If they're going to run a stop and go place, they're running the Chevy usually.
Right. Yeah. Okay.
Or at least the guys I deal with, that's what they do.
Yeah. All right. So here's another, here's a question right here. And
Oh, wow. You got like all this new technology.
I do.
Holy
I'm
crap.
totally rocking this. So Terry asks, should I use GM specs on setting valves?
Well, I use 3/4 of a turn preload. So I know for a while they had 1/2 to 3/4 per my recommendation to them. But yeah, I use 3/4 of a turn preload on 602s and 604s.
Mm-hmm. Gotcha. All right. Next up is, oh, I love this. I'm really loving this. So thank you, StreamYard, for this super cool thing. All right. Have you seen more of a horsepower gain with the R2C 2-barrel base or the 4-barrel base running a 4412 carburetor?
Dude, honestly, I don't do a whole lot of 2-barrel stuff. So I don't have like a really good recommendation on that. I remember the old R2C 2-barrel base is a pretty nice piece. I don't know if they make it anymore. I mean, who knows? Is R2C even in business? I don't even know.
They say they are.
They say they are, but who knows? Yeah, I mean, my gut instinct says the R2C base, but it's nothing that I've tested to give you like a 100%, this is what you need to run kind of deal.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I mean, it's just not something that's been in our wheelhouse.
Well, and one of these days, I mean, I really would like to come up with a better solution for the 2-barrel carburetors as far as the air filter base goes.
Oh, absolutely.
We've tried some different things. And then, you got different configurations, whether like how high you can be. So some of these are going with the offset base because especially with the choke horn, I mean, there's a lot of stuff going on.
A lot of that 2-barrel stuff, you can't run it out of the hood, that kind of thing.
Right.
So.
Exactly. So you have to go with the drop base.
Yeah,
We haven't got
kind of a weird scenario.
We haven't had bad results with our flat base, but they're not great.
But the 2-barrel base, which I've had before in my shop, is a pretty nice piece.
Yeah.
If they still make it, if they're still in business,
I don't
who
know.
knows?
They were so hard
They
to deal
screwed
with
over
after a while.
They screwed over every one of their dealers. So I'll put it that way.
Yeah, including
So we
me.
stopped dealing with them.
Yeah, 2 years later.
Yeah.
Hey, we're still in business. You want to sell our stuff?
Right.
No. Wow,
Yeah.
where have you been? Wow, it's like a
we had
we
only had like a $2,700 order with you that we had to charge back on the credit card because we couldn't get it after a month and a half.
And they ghosted me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wouldn't answer phone calls, wouldn't answer text messages, wouldn't answer emails, all that stuff.
No, it kind of reminds you of, like when you've got an old high school, like ex-boyfriend, girlfriend that just comes out of the woodwork sometimes.
Yeah, I get, yeah.
You haven't talked to him in for
Yeah.
years. And all of a sudden, like, hey, you know what? I'm still here.
Yeah.
I'm still here. You want to be friends?
No, it's like,
dude, wow. Like you took my money.
it's a Facebook message. What are you doing?
Hey, what's up? Wow.
You coming back for the high school reunion?
Feeling cute.
As a matter of fact, I am.
All right, we got another one. So Randy says, just bought a Hendren 604 today in South Carolina on our way back to Ohio, going crate racing.
All right, cool deal.
Awesome.
So
well, I guess
I
it's
assume
not really
that was going to be a
question,
used
it's more of
one.
comment.
Yeah.
Yeah, either that or who
Because
knows.
I've got none right now.
Yeah, well, right. Well, I would assume since we're in
Yeah.
North Carolina,
Well,
in case there's any question about where we're at, we're in North Carolina.
Yes.
Oh, and let's, for anybody who's new here and hasn't seen our background, and of course this is a podcast too, so you aren't seeing, if you're hearing voice, you're not hearing anything, but on the video side of it, people have asked about our background before. So we were sitting outside on my back patio.
Yep.
And there happens to be this giant hill behind us. That's just a hill of like juniper or something. So it's juniper that's like, yeah, it's juniper.
Random green stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
Pull that way. That way it looks more.
Yeah, I don't
more
know.
consistent.
So it's okay. It's okay. So it's not a green screen or anything.
No.
It's kind of fun. I see Cameron says big news from last night at Tri-County SAS race. Joseph Joyner with victory and JC Wilson on his first super race top 5. Thank you for everything you do for all motorsports. That's really exciting. That would be the Hunt the Front guys and
Okay.
And that Cameron does a lot of work with them. I saw Cameron, when I was at Bristol the week before last. Okay. All right.
Cameron didn't.
No.
He didn't get hit in the head with a fucking tire, did he?
No, but I'll tell you what, I was really worried about it. Yeah.
Anytime he's standing next to the wall, don't stand next to that dude. That's all I can
He's
say.
unlucky when it came to that. All right. Chris says, what coil do you recommend for 604?
What ignition box are you using?
Yeah. So that's a question to answer there, Chris, is, really this is going to be ignition box dependent. So go ahead and jump in there with what you've got running there.
Not the Blaster 2, I'll put it that way.
Okay.
So like if you run an MSD, I would run anyone like the HVC coils. I think like with the standard box, I can't remember whether it's like the blue one or the red one.
Oh, he's got an MSD, but I think that's going to depend too, like a 6AL or 6ALN or 725.
Honestly, I mean, whatever MSD recommends. I can't remember like which one it is exactly, blue, red. I mean, the black one goes with the black box, but I think it's the blue coil. I don't know the part number off the top of my head.
Okay.
But do not use that Blaster. That thing's a piece of shit.
Well, not all of them. It's just that
all of them. All of them end up being a piece of shit.
Oh my goodness. You looked at the one that I brought in.
No, the blast, like the round Blaster coil.
Right. There's a couple of different part numbers. There's a couple part numbers, and you said the one I bought wasn't terrible.
Okay. Well, whatever.
So, I mean, unless you've got a better idea. Okay. Well, then know your part numbers.
I don't know my fucking part numbers. I'm sitting here Sunday drinking a fucking beer.
No, I'm saying for the future.
How am I going to know my part numbers?
Well, I do. No. I mean, please, like, inform me so that I can make sure that I've got the right stuff on hand. That's all.
Right.
All right. So, Taiwan.
You don't have one of the piece of shit coils on your shelf. I'll put it
right. And one of them is a MSD Blaster. Right. Okay. All right. CT525. Mm-hmm. What is the best fuel to run?
The two best that I've found has either been CHP, which VP makes, or an E85. Both of them actually produce the same power. I think that I can probably make more power with the E85, but I have not had time to like do ignition timing variants.
Yeah, because you're gonna have to do a whole new ignition curve.
It's gonna take a whole day to do it, is what I'm getting at.
Gotcha. And you don't have a day to spare right now?
No. God. No, I wish I did.
No, I know you don't.
If I did, I'd be on vacation right now. Trust me.
Yeah. Well,
I'm like at burnout point.
Tell you what I'm at. I've been inspired. I always have to find new inspiration, right? So I mean, I'm like a child who needs a new toy. But no, this week I started watching this course on Creative Live. I'm a big fan of Creative Live, and which is really for like creators and kind of thing. But they were talking about like building more efficiency into things. And so I found I'm going to be doing some videos this week, and one of them is going to be like 3 tricks that I found to cut this time I spend on email in like, I don't know, a tenth. I mean, it's insane how much efficiency just 3 little tweaks made. It was really insane. So efficiency, and if I can be more efficient, then I can get more of my regular stuff done, which means then I can do more of the stuff that I really zone of genius type of things. Yeah. All right. Cameron did comment. He says, no, Steve, no tire in the head.
All right, good.
No tire this week.
That's a good thing. I was a bit worried.
Mm-hmm.
Anytime Cameron goes to a race, you got to watch for the tire flying through the air.
Yeah, he said he had the Hoosier tire hat on, so I hope not. I hope not to be hit in the head with the tire again. So that's like his good luck charm now. Yep. And Brian says blue. I'm not really sure. Terry says you're a lazy ass.
Well, yeah, we know that.
And we also know it's Terry giving you hell.
Yeah. I mean,
all right, I got a question here. I wrote it down on an index card. The best of my ability here from one of our Facebook messages, private messages. This is from Jacob, and he says, I got a crate and it backfires, pops bad. What reason? It's like I changed the plugs, the wires, distributor, valve springs, done a comparison check, 140. I don't know what that means. What they checked
compression check is what he's saying.
Okay. Compression check, 140. What they checked at carb jetting, power valves adjustments. What am I missing? So the core question is, he's got a crate engine, it backfires and it pops. Why would it do that?
I mean, if you're talking deceleration, it's usually because you're rich on air fuel ratio.
Gotcha.
beyond that, it could be an electrical deal of some sort, like shit grounds and a bunch of other stuff. It's honestly a question that's going to be, I mean, there's multiple answers that could be right and multiple that could be wrong.
That's my phrase. In life there are multiple right answers.
Well, I mean, but I mean, seriously, I mean, there's not any one good answer to it. If you're talking like deceleration, like when you're on the racetrack, 9 times out of 10, if it goes pop, like when you let off the gas, it's unburned fuel getting exposed to air, usually like through a cracked header tube or something like that, and it goes bang and pop.
Mm-hmm.
If it's methanol, it does it automatically. So
yeah. Well, we've certainly seen that too with people who put on your anti-reversion mufflers that they think that they're popping and cracking.
It'll actually pop when you're sitting there running.
Right.
On a lot of them. Like on, let's say like the old Dynatec headers, it'll go there and pop, 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 pop.
Yeah.
But
but once you're on the track and you're rolling, then you're good. So
because like
I know there was like a whole bunch of questions all rolling into one.
Yeah,
paragraph here. I just wrote it down word for word.
I mean, is performance being adversely affected?
Yeah, and I don't know.
If it's not, then I wouldn't worry about it because it's going to be a rich issue.
Yeah. Good. Let's see. And I see. We've got a question from David Fountain. Whoops. And he says, "What 7-quart oil pans do you use on your engines?" Well, and I know, I know David, he's running asphalt out west. He runs at, I believe he runs in like Las Vegas, California. Right. And on this side of the country, or what you do, there's no change in the oil pan.
We have to use the factory oil pans. I mean, the asphalt stuff that we do, normally most of those series call it like a champ pan part number. Again, bad with part numbers. Don't know enough. No, that's
right.
But like most of those series like call out a part number pan that you can run.
It's a good, and so that'd be one of those things.
So it'll be a 7-quart, 6 in the pan, 1 in the filter.
Right.
Deal.
But otherwise we're typically using 8-quart oil pans, just the ones that it comes with, and still just using 7 quarts of oil.
Right. Correct.
Now, actually, I'm going to ask a question now then. So if you are going to a 7-quart oil pan, do you still use 7 quarts, or are you going to use less?
No, I'd use 6 plus 1. Yeah, 7 total.
So you would still use 7. Yeah. Okay. Gotcha. Okay. And Terry says he's commenting like, this popping thing could be a lot of things. Allison says she loves the show. Thank you so much for being here. She's coming here from YouTube. And David was here from YouTube too. So this is really exciting. Good. This is, we normally are live on Facebook, and
it's like the first time we've been on YouTube, right? Live? Yeah,
it is, because we always go live on Facebook because it's been kind of our go-to. And so, just big thanks to trying out this new Streamyard software where we can go into both places at the same time. So I'm really digging this where we can see everybody's comments. It's really, really fun. All right. So Brody mentions, possibly an exhaust leak. You're totally spot on with this issue. Yeah.
Generally, it would be an exhaust leak combined with a rich air fuel ratio.
Yeah.
Because what you've got is unburned fuel coming out the exhaust. As soon as it hits air, it goes pop.
Yep. Jeff James says, since you are talking about grounds, what is your idea with a 604? Now,
ground wise,
normally
like on our own cars, like my son's car, what we do is we ground each cylinder head together, ground the cylinder head of the block, ground the block directly back to the battery, and that's all you need.
Okay.
You don't need like 85 freaking grounds, which I've seen before. Grounding everything to everything, and that is enough.
All right.
Obviously, with like a decent sized cable. I mean, you don't want to do it with, number 10 wire. I mean, you ground it with like, what is it? 1/0 cable or something like that.
1/0. 1.0. 1/0. Gotcha. Pat says hi. Cheers. Cheers. We missed you, Pat. Normally, Pat would be down Ramones in the afternoon. I went by there today and had lunch, which is very rare.
Very rare.
Very rare. And, so I missed you.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Brian says,
she's a little grumpy.
I understand. I know. I heard the story.
Yeah, I told you the story.
Yeah. Brian Littleton's here. He says Matt Henderson picks up a win with that Hendren Racing Engines at Talladega.
Absolutely. My day started off freaking amazing.
Oh my gosh, please tell us this story.
All right, so my day started off with Booger Brooks winning with our 604.
Mm-hmm.
Matt Henderson winning with a 604. Then I go to my local little restaurant that I enjoy going to on Sundays, and I'm watching the Formula One race, and Max Verstappen looks like he's going to win the freaking race. And I'm like, this is a great freaking day. And nope.
I know.
Yeah. Dickhead passes him at the end and wins the race. So
now I have a curious question note. Were you into Formula One and like know the drivers and stuff before you saw the Netflix show?
I've always been a fan.
Been okay. Because
I haven't been like, it's about like NASCAR. I'm not going to watch it every weekend, but I pay attention to what's going on and stuff like that. So,
well, I would have to say that the Netflix series, that Drive to Survive.
Oh, that's brilliant.
That's what kind of got me into Formula One. And I started watching it with season 1. And, that show is everything that kind of I've always wanted to do with, telling driver stories and, explaining the journey. And it's a little bit different than anything I would be able to do. But it's
the cool part to me
it's pretty cool. You actually get to know the drivers, and when you're connected with them, and then you feel vested, and then you have a reason to root for.
And you're like talking about people at the pinnacle of the sport.
Yes.
I mean, there's no other. The most advanced race cars in the world are F1 cars. The most advanced race car drivers in the world are F1 drivers.
Oh, it's insane.
And there's 20 of them.
Right. In the whole world.
In the world.
Yeah. I mean, those cars.
And you got a bunch of dudes vying to be one of 20.
Yeah.
So it's amazing.
It's so incredible. And just the fact that they're controlling things like tire pressure from the pits. It's just like, what?
Right.
What? I mean, and, their reactions are like microseconds, and it's unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable.
So anyways, who's your favorite F1 driver? Because I know yours is based off the series.
It is, but I don't know that I have a favorite. Because it changes depending on whose point of view they show. Because at first
think about all the dudes you've watched on there, and like, who's your favorite? I mean, my hands down favorite's Verstappen. He's freaking. I mean, now Mick Schumacher coming into it now, even though he's driving for shit Williams team, he might actually. He's going to go places, but.
I don't know if I'd call him my favorite, but I think the story that I think I like the most was at the end of season 2, how the one kid was picked up by the red team.
Pierre Gasly? Or Leclerc for Ferrari.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, just that story of he's Spanish.
Right. No, he's not Spanish.
What is he?
He's French.
Okay. I think that's who it was anyway. But like his dad was a Formula One driver, and like his big dream is to be on the Ferrari team.
Yeah.
And, I would have to say, because like at first I liked the Australian guy, and then I didn't like Verstappen because he just seemed a little bit.
Well, I like Verstappen because he was like.
Well, I didn't like him in season 1 because they didn't talk about it.
I like Verstappen because I can like relate to the dude. He's like, fuck this, I want to go race.
Yeah.
And he doesn't give a shit about anything else. So I get that.
Yeah. And what was the one that was on the boat in season 2? Like he would just be on the boat and go fishing, and then maybe Verstappen. Anyway, so I'd have to be a refresh. I'm not.
At any rate, I like F1. Yeah, I always have. I've always watched it.
Okay.
Here and there, not religiously, but I always keep an eye on who does what and who wins. And
I really want to go to a Formula One race. I mean, it's November in Texas. Here in the United States, but obviously I'd like to go to one in the world just to kind of be there. I mean, I know you're not like watching every bit of it.
Melbourne Grand Prix would be good to go to.
I don't know. Let's pick one and let's go. Let's pick one.
Of course, I'd like to go to the Austrian.
That's fine. Grand Prix. It's fine. I mean, those are my people.
That's right. Yeah, you're a freaking Nazi. I mean, Germanish.
Yeah. Part Austrian. Just depends on where the borders were at any given time.
Part Nazi.
No, my heritage is incredibly German. So
to be fair, you like Jewish people.
I do. I like everybody. I like everybody just fine. Absolutely. Okay, I'm gonna wait till he comes back because he just likes to, TMI. He's off to get a beer and it's yeah. Anyway, I will. I'm sorry, I have to wait for Steve to come back, but yeah, that was my story. So see if you have any questions for me and I will be happy to answer them. And if anyone if you're watching us live, if you're making any comments, so be sure to, like our channel, subscribe to us on YouTube, depending on where you're at. And then, of course, we also turn this into an audio podcast that goes out on Mondays. And then we keep all the show notes and everything over on racinginsiderspodcast.com. So you can go and check that out. Oh, Brian says the sound of the engines from the early 2000s were awesome. I'm going to agree with you there. That also reminds me, we have another channel, Racing Rewind. You can just go to racingrewind.com. It'll actually take you to the YouTube channel. If any of you have old videotapes, or if you've already had your old races digitized, I have a YouTube channel where we're publishing those. And, I'm not selling anything. I'm still actually waiting to find some races where my dad was in a race. In fact, Steve, the other day I got a question. Somebody asked me if you happen to have the video footage from your first memorial race at Cleveland County.
I don't.
And I said, you probably don't. Otherwise, I would already have it up on the channel. All right, so we've got
I've seen it on YouTube before.
Oh, you have?
Yeah, it's.
Okay.
I mean, not all focused on me. It was a competitor in the race.
Mm-hmm.
But I've not been able to find it for years, honestly.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so, and who knows? Yeah. Dave says, I have used 6-quart pans, also one for the filter and one for the cooler, and had my oil light come on and added 1 quart and the light is off with a Canton 6-quart pan. So we're talking a lot about like oil pans here. Then I'm just going to go ahead and keep on going on that topic. Because
oil light, if the oil light's coming on turning left, then yeah, you're shy on oil.
Mm-hmm.
If you're shaking the car around, then that's not uncommon.
All right. Now,
in other words, if you're turning right, left, warming the tires up, I mean, it's not uncommon to see the oil light come on.
Now that was Dave Bailey, and then here's David Fountain. He says, and he was asking about that 6-quart pan or 7-quart pan. He says, looking oil pressure going into turns, advice on lacking oil pressure going into the turns.
If the light's coming on at that point.
Well, this is somebody different, David. This is the one who was asking about 7-quart oil pans earlier, but he's saying he's lacking oil pressure going into turns. Again, I know this is asphalt.
Then you got a trap door stuck in the pan. This is allowing the oil to flow forward, which the trap door shuts it off from going forward normally, going in the corner. So you got a trap door stuck in the pan. Probably stuck open. Well, it's going to be stuck open, obviously. It's allowing the oil to go forward in the pan and get sloshed forward. Mm-hmm. So it's like taking it away from the pickup. So what would be a quick fix for him? Take the pan off, fix the trap door. Gotcha. All right. There's no quick fix. All right. Brody asks, how long is the wait on complete 604 package from you, Steve? Are you still at about 8 weeks, 8 to 10? Well, I'm basing everything off of 10 weeks because I don't know what GM's got going on. Okay. And I cannot get 604s right now. Yeah. I was lucky enough to get one last week. Mm-hmm. I won't name who it's from because I know they don't want me to name who it's from. But I was lucky enough to get one last week. Mm-hmm. That's the last one I know of in the country, other than if you want to buy one that's bone stock out of the box, dynoed, like distributor in it and stuff like that. And then if you want that, then I can refer you to somebody who's got one. Yeah, me too. All right. Here's a good question. I like this question. James, or it's not really a question, it's a comment. Mm-hmm. James is here from Iowa. So yes, it's a place, Steve. That's right. From last week. Yeah. Is Iowa really a real place? Yes, it is. He just likes to make fun of me because I used to be from there. All right, now here's another question though. Crandall says, does a paper air filter hurt power? And if so, which one makes the most power? No, actually it doesn't. No, it doesn't. For years and years and years, we used a Wix paper filter. Or the Napa. Well, Wix, Napa, same thing. Right. And no, it doesn't hurt power at all. I mean, you want to change it every race. Right. But I mean, there's no, not at all. Yeah. I mean, a good Wix or Napa Gold filter is freaking awesome. Yeah. The key though
is to change it.
Right. I mean, you're talking $12 a race.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, if you're going to pay $12 a race, then, buy a walker for
and that's
$99 and run it for 2 years.
Right.
That kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly.
But no, there's nothing wrong with a paper filter at all.
Mm-hmm.
I use one for years. Oh.
Okay. All right. Jason asks, Steve, what size of fan blade on a modified with a 604 crate on methanol? Ooh, can I take a stab at this? I think I know the answer. I think we're going to go with a 3-blade 17-inch race fan.
I would go with a 2-blade 17-inch race fan.
Okay. Well, I'd go 3 for backup, but yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, 17-inch race fan.
Right.
Whether you want to run 2 blades or 3.
Yeah, and 17 might be too much, honestly. Because you can actually, richen the carburetor up and cool the engine down. So
go with a 15.
You can go with a 15 as well.
Mm-hmm. So the 17's a safe bet.
17 is always safe, yeah.
Yeah.
On methanol or ethanol,
mm-hmm.
It's always safe.
Yeah. Yeah, that was fans was definitely something that came up. Being at Bristol, cooling was definitely an issue. Definitely
we knew it would be.
Yeah.
Going up there. I mean, I didn't go up there, but I had to work. Because that's what we do.
Well, I was working, so
yeah.
Yeah,
I didn't get the pleasure of going up there and like hanging out and drinking beer. That would have been fun, but wrong time of the year to go up there and like hang out and drink beer and help people out and that kind of thing.
Yeah. Okay. More racing asks, can you get away with running 7,000 RPMs on a 602 crate engine?
Absolutely not. And if you're racing against somebody who claims they're either lying or they're going to be running over their shit or they're cheating.
Ooh, brought out the C word. Yeah. Let's talk about that for just a moment. So you don't recommend running a 6400 chip, right?
Yeah, correct. Okay. Number one, like a 602 that is 100% legal. The way the cam profile is and the way everything's set up in that, you're in valve float there by 6,600 RPM.
Mm-hmm.
Like valve float, severe valve float.
Yeah.
So that means you're going to be breaking shit at some point.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, can you get away with running, 65 or 66 for qualifying? Probably.
Yeah.
Do you need to? No, because if you look at the torque band and the horsepower band of those engines, it's falling off like a rock at 6,000. So we recommend 64 because you need that extra little bit of RPM to get you to the end of the straightaway.
Mm-hmm.
But if somebody's telling you that they're turning 7, like I said, they're lying, they're going to be running their shit over, or they're cheating.
Good to know. James is also letting us know he's from Clear Lake, Iowa, to be exact.
I have no clue. Does that even exist? Is that a place?
Yes, it's a place.
Okay.
No, so I got to tell you a Minnesota story. So having lived in Minnesota too. So there's like 2 major names of lakes in Minnesota because like 10,000 of them. Basically, if there's a puddle, it's there for a week, and you name it, then it's a lake. But Clear Lake and Leech
mosquitoes
Lake,
in those lakes?
Yes. Yes. Clear Lake and Leech Lake, there's like 1,000 of each one, at least 1,000 of each one.
So you got a lot of, you got like 10 billion leeches and 10,000 lakes.
I don't know why you would name it Leech Lake. I have no idea, but there's a lot of them.
Probably a lot of leeches.
And Clear Lake was a lot of them too. All right, we got another question here from Brad. It says, does battery location and length of cables affect performance?
With the right size cable, no, I haven't seen that be an issue. Location is wherever your chassis builder tells you to run the battery, honestly. And what battery are you using? I mean, are you using a 47-pound battery or like a 7-pound go lithium? So that makes a difference.
Because that's more about the weight.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure he's asking about ignition, but
no. But I mean, as far as length the cable, no. With the correct size cable, no, it does not matter.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you're not going to run you're not going to run hot lead with a number 10 wire for 5 feet. Now you do go with like a 1/0 wire, then you don't have to worry about it. That's what I'm getting at.
I feel like I need to do a wiring video because I think it'd be great to demonstrate what you are talking about that I have no idea what you're talking about. I mean, no, I kind of understand, but I understand like.
Well, would it be interesting is like get with Nelson.
Nelson is no longer with us.
Oh, Nelson passed away?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was wondering. I didn't know, but.
Yeah. Really sad. I know he had a long battle. Dad told me that here recently. But
shit.
Nelson from Nelson Specialties was absolutely
the best in the business.
Amazing.
God
when it
damn it, I
came
hate
to
to hear that.
ignition. Yeah. I think he died in November, December. So, yeah, it's very, very sad news for sure. Okay. Now also Chad is telling us he's from Lost Island Lake in Iowa. So there's a lot of, there's corroborating evidence that yes, Iowa exists.
But it's a lost island in Iowa. So we don't know if it exists or not. It's just like hearsay.
So, yeah.
I mean, seriously. It's hearsay.
Oh my God. All right.
He's the one dude who has an address that's on this show right now. So we're only taking his word for it.
We are not. You are such a jerk sometimes. All right, moving on. Chad says, who has the best 602 replacement valve springs?
Well, I mean, if we're talking like stock springs, honestly, right now, they're all pretty damn good.
Yeah. Well, I mean, so here at like Crate Insider and Hendren Racing Engines, we really can only ever use the GM 602 valve springs. Yeah. So, anything that's like the pack springs or the
comp springs
or whatever, we don't really mess with it all because it's not going to be legal in any of the series. And
we don't sell illegal shit. So.
No. I mean, we sell stuff that may not be legal in every single series. We can't help it when rules are different.
Yeah, you got like a whole tire prep.
But it's one thing.
Regime.
Well, yeah, but it's perfectly legal in some places.
Correct.
It's maybe it's a majority.
No, but I mean, as far as like the springs go, I mean, I don't know. I can tell you who not to buy them from.
Okay, no.
Anybody who charges you $256 for 84-pound springs, don't buy them from them.
Yeah, we actually kind of did a video, but I don't like throwing anybody under the bus.
Well, I'm not going to name names.
No, that's good. Because I was waiting for you. I was I
will. So.
Well, no, I find that the best way to not bring attention to things is to ignore them.
Well, I mean, but
people just tell the thing.
Still freaking buy that shit, which just amazes me.
It is. Now, we do sell matched valve springs, and that is an available option. They are GM. They're genuine GM valve springs, but we just go through and we rate them all, get rid of any bad ones. And that way we just kind of do some of that homework for our customers. But other than that, they're still the GM. I mean, they're still genuine Chevrolet Performance GM springs. Now,
as far as like, if you want to run a superior spring to the GM, I have heard that PAC also makes a spring, and so does Comp.
Now, I didn't know Comp did, but I definitely have heard of PAC. Heard PAC did. Yeah. And that's perfectly legal in like some asphalt series out there.
I think PAC actually makes the 604 springs for GM though.
Oh,
I think.
Huh.
Through the rumor mill of GM and down to engine builders and everything else is like what I've heard.
Because if it's a rumor, it must be true.
Yeah, it's got to be true. Didn't see it on Facebook, so it might be true.
There we go. Oh yeah, it was great. We'll keep on dropping in those questions, you guys. Dave's like, Kate, do a YouTube video. Yeah, I probably should, just on sizes of wires and picking the right size wires for your different things. I don't know. Is that a thing?
No, it totally is. I mean, I need to probably get with Matt Long and that guy who does the batteries for him, or maybe with what's his name at Go Lithium.
Okay. And
do a video on that. Yeah. I mean, it'd be good information because a lot of people don't know. I mean,
well, and when you're standing in the store, if you're at AutoZone and you're like,
and there's a difference between copper wire and aluminum wire and all sorts of different things.
If you're like, well, that one's $20 and that one's $50, like which one? I don't know. I'll just take the $50 one because I don't know any better.
Exactly.
I mean, sometimes you want to cheap out, but if this is something that's important and you don't know, then it's one of those things where you would pick something that's more expensive, but it could be wrong.
Be a good video to do.
Yeah, that's good. I just need to get the right person. Oh, here's another good question right here. More Racing asks, what fuel PSI should I want? I had 4 PSI when I went out for practice, started sputtering, got back into the pits and have 1 PSI.
I mean, that's going to be, it depends on, fucking wind's picking up now pretty good, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. always getting abused by the objects in my environment.
I mean, ultimately, like most Holley carburetors, you're running off like 6 to 7 pounds.
Yeah. Now, of course,
or Holley based carburetors, I'm going to say.
Well, I mean, it also depends too. If you have a bypass regulator,
that's what I mean. There's so many different variables there, but ultimately, yeah, you want about bare minimum 6 pounds at full throttle on the racetrack.
Okay.
I mean, idling around the pits, it really doesn't matter. I mean, bypass systems, a lot of bypass systems will run, 3 pounds at an idle, and you're running 9 pounds full throttle.
Mm-hmm.
Depending on it's fuel variant. So.
Chad from Lost Island Lake in Iowa, he says he's been trying to find it for 8 years. It voted itself off the island. That's hilarious.
Chad does not exist.
Chad. Wow.
See what I tell you? Iowa doesn't exist.
Wow. I feel like I'm watching mainstream media right now. Like, whatever you ignore what your eyes see, everyone.
Oh god.
All right. Okay. All right. Let me get another question. Taiwan says, what is the most horsepower you've seen out of a 525 on gas?
535 at the rear tires.
I'm gonna do something about the
on our chassis now. Are you trying to tie the whole thing?
I'm trying to tame the curtain of the gazebo here.
Where'd the fucking wind come from all of a sudden? Just pull that one back. Pull that back and it'll probably solve half the damn problem.
Yeah, I can tie them back too because I have ties.
Well, just leave it there.
Okay.
All right.
You sure?
All right. So yeah, 535 at the rear tires is the most I've seen on my chassis now.
All right. Good answer. Good answer.
And torque wise, usually around 470.
Mm-hmm.
It's about the most we see.
Hey, Brian says that there's a guy out there that has 85-pound springs on sale right now.
Yeah, I'm sure there is.
I'm sure there are.
For what?
Okay.
$300?
Yeah. All right, here's a good one. Chad says, what do you guys recommend for changing the springs night-wise? Like how? And I actually got this as another question.
For what engine?
That's a really good question, but let's answer it for both. But hang on for just a second, because I did get a Facebook message or an Instagram message or something where they said, I understand that you're telling us to check the valve spring pressures, but if I don't want to do that and I just kind of want a rule of thumb for how many nights to go before changing valve springs, let's just go ahead and cover the 602s and the 604s.
602s. Honestly, I think GM changed spring manufacturers again.
Again?
Yes. Because the ones we've been seeing come through that we rate for you, they've all been good.
602s or 604s?
02s.
Really?
Yes.
Because they've been kind of junk for a long time.
They've all been really good and very consistent. So I don't know.
Yeah.
With the new 604 springs that supposedly, from what I've heard, Pack makes, I don't know.
Yeah.
Because we have not had enough time,
right,
to see how long you can actually run one before one breaks, or they go bad. So I'm telling people the same thing I told them a year ago before any of these 602 or 604 springs existed, which is about every time you leak down the motor, do a leak down test, about every 10 to 12 races, just change the springs.
10 to 12 races. Okay.
I mean, we're talking if you 604s, if you buy just the standard set of springs, what are they, like $82?
I think they're 85 now.
Well, whatever. All right, I'm just gonna say 80,
under 100.
Whatever.
Yeah.
It's under $100.
Yeah.
Just change the freaking springs.
It's a good idea.
I mean, if you're getting on the 602, your cat's a fucking psycho.
I know. On
the 602, I was saying every 3 to 4 races about a year ago.
Yeah.
I don't know, go 5.
Okay.
Change.
Wow. So they're that much better.
They're that much better from what I've seen. Now, longevity wise, we still, like I said, we still don't have a good track record.
We don't. Oh, it's not that we don't have a good track record. We just don't have enough information to be able to make a determination.
We don't have enough information to make
a call.
make a call right now.
Yeah. Ooh, James says, don't worry. Be a great video, including soldering ends on heat shrink. That would be awesome.
Yeah.
Actually, one of our most read tech articles on the website is like 7 tips for wiring your race car, something like that your brother helped me with. And it's an article, and it was kind of step by step with pictures and kind of with some 7
how to solder your ends, do all that stuff.
Yeah. But doing it in a video would be a really good idea. Okay, here's another good one. More racing. You're on fire today. Says, what mechanical fuel pump do you recommend for the 602?
If you're gonna run, God, I hate mechanical fuel pumps.
What do you like instead?
Well, belt drive.
Okay.
But I know a lot of 602 series you can't run a belt drive pump.
Right, so it's going to be like the block mount,
but
like my Pro Cams, right?
Yeah, I freaking hate mechanical pumps. And I hate to say it, but yeah, her Pro Cam deal is probably, for the bang for the buck, is probably one of the better ones out there.
Yeah.
God.
Well, here's the hard thing.
I hate to, I'll never recommend another CV product ever in my entire life. But like their pumps at one point were like some of the best you could buy.
I haven't heard like recently.
But you're talking like triple the price of what you're selling.
Yeah, because they're like a $400 and something pump. Now they're closer to $5 now.
$500.
They're billet, they're nice, they're beautiful.
Yeah,
if you can get one. I don't know.
Yeah, so probably best bang for the buck is that damn Pro Cam, and I hate recommending that because all it is a copy of the old Holly. But they work. So yeah, probably the Pro Cam.
And then let's just
they make a 15-pound and a 7-pound pump.
7.5, yeah.
Or 7.5.
They actually do make an 11-pound. Is that something that I should maybe think about or no?
No, because if I'm running a bypass system, I want the 15. If I'm not running a bypass system, I want the 7.5. So.
That's what I thought. I'm being violated by the curtains in the on the gazebo. At least this one is I have sandbags. Oh my God. I'm going
to leave that right there because it's apparently like happy.
Yeah, it's happy right there.
Right behind you.
So I have to tell you this. This was hilarious. So around this is a metal gazebo with like plastic like inserts or whatever on the top. So it's not a tent anymore. I've had a couple of those and they didn't do so well in the backyard. I'd collapse them each year. But around the base of each of these is sandbags. So when you pull them apart, it looks like 2 cylinders, and then they kind of wrap around. And when Tori first saw them, she's like, "Those look like little baby life preservers."
Are you talking about evil assistant Tori?
Yeah, I am. She's like, "Those look like baby life preservers, but they're so heavy. I can't imagine that'd be it." Because it must have been before I set up the gazebo. Or it was like in between tents, because actually her husband helped me set up the gazebo, and she saw them and was like, "Man, these are really heavy. I don't know that they would actually help a baby." She didn't know what they were. Why would anybody know what they were? Like out of context, nobody would know what they were.
How's this going to help a baby?
She's like, why does she have like baby life preservers? That's so weird. And they're really heavy. But, again, they weren't attached to the tent at that time. But yeah, so we are anchored by the by the sandbags around the corners here. Oh, okay. All right. Let's see. Oh, and then we got a new question here from Dylan. He says, on that, we were talking about, he says, what kind of horsepower have you seen on a 602 and a 604 on gas?
All right. Probably the best on, here's the thing. So horsepower, I don't give 2 shits about horsepower.
One shit maybe?
No, not even
not even one.
No. I want torque.
Okay.
So like we done it one of our guys last week, and on CHP he made 434 foot-pounds of torque at 412 horsepower at the rear tires. The torque's what I want. Yeah. Now this was like profab headers. This was like best of the best stuff.
Full meal deal
on CHP. So that's what I want. If I see that, holy shit, that's like super impressive.
Yeah.
On average, of course, because we're doing everything at the rear tires, you're running through your entire drivetrain. So it has to do a lot with what you got for transmission, rear end, everything comes into play there.
Well, and would you say, let me ask you this question, that we're nearly always going to find lower numbers on a chassis dyno than we will on an engine dyno?
Well, you do, yeah. You're going to see like anywhere from 10 to 12% less.
Yes.
So
I was like leading it.
Right. You. Yeah. I mean, but that's why I like the chassis dyno. I mean, engine dyno is like not real numbers.
Right.
Engine dyno is like fake. Chassis dyno tells you everything you need to know.
I would agree.
But at any rate, like on gas, I mean, probably the most horsepower I've ever seen on gas on my chassis dyno is probably like around 427.
Yeah.
But then the torque followed it.
Right.
So.
Okay.
But everything we're doing nowadays, I don't give two shits about horsepower. I want torque.
Yep.
And the reason I want torque is because the more torque you produce, the more gear you can pull out of the car.
Oh, and the more gear you can
pull out of the car, you pull gear out of the car, the more mile an hour you get.
More freed up you are.
Correct.
And we're always trying to get to that freed up zone.
Yeah.
Get to the zone.
Yeah, it's a very touchy thing either direction, but I mean,
it's all balance.
But if I can give you 434 foot-pounds of torque and I don't know 100 horsepower, you're gonna win races. If I give you 100 horsepower or 434 horsepower and like 100 foot-pounds of torque, you're gonna finish last every fucking time you go out.
Yeah, interesting stuff. I see, Brian, you said you sent me a PM. I will definitely check that. Here is a question from Shane. He says, do you know anything about a VP RX96 fuel for a 602? Have you heard of that one?
I don't. No.
Yeah, I haven't heard of that one either. All right. Next is from Taiwan. He says, USRA allows 7,500 RPM for 525. Does it lose longevity and how much?
Yes, it does.
Okay.
Because
what should you be running?
73 max.
Okay.
Back in the day when Crate Racing USA first started their whole super late model deal with the 525, GM gave them like two engines to dyno the shit out of and blow up whatever they wanted to do with them. And the one engine, they actually finally made it fail at like 76. And it was shit in rocker gear. So
I just had a visual. I just straight up had a visual. It was shitting rocker gear.
Right. They're gonna fail. So 73, no matter what you do on a 525, like a newer generation one, especially because they don't break pistons, they don't lose rod bolts. 73 is like what I recommend max. Because ultimately, again, I mean, if you look at the dyno sheet, you don't need to turn it over 73.
That's right. Okay, next up is from Scott, and he says, on a 604, what rear gear is best? 411?
411.
Well, let me finish. Not everybody's watching video. 411 or 486 were the two options here. And you're going to go
1,000% 411.
Yeah.
You're going to see a 2% acceleration rate factor on the chassis now.
That's nice.
Between the two. And I've done that back to back. I mean, literally, like as long as it took us to change rear ends, I've done it on the dyno.
Chad has given us a link to a website for Lost Island Lake, Iowa. to where to fish, to the lakes, the ponds, the reservoir, the lake details. So
it's on the fucking internet. I don't believe it.
No,
not saying I'm a conspiracy theorist.
If it's on the internet, it has to be true. Don't you know that? If it's on the internet, it has to be true. It's
a conspiracy. I guarantee
God. Wow. Oh man,
we're still talking about fucking Iowa. God damn it.
Well, you know what? We kind of get themes going with the shows, where they kind of like there's themes that just kind of jump from like one episode to the next episode, and they're kind of like kind of a theme for a while, and then we kind of move on to
First of all, we have to prove Iowa exists. And if it doesn't, like if nobody's ever been there, It doesn't exist, right?
Well, if there was no Iowa, there would be no Dave Hammond. I know Dave Hammond exists. Dave Hammond lives in Iowa, therefore Iowa exists.
Have we ever seen him in Iowa?
Well, no, because you won't.
No, because he always goes everywhere else.
Because you won't leave the county.
Yeah,
you won't leave the county.
I've never seen Dave Hammond in Iowa.
Because you don't leave the county.
All I know is every now and again I get shipments in from Iowa. And I'm like, oh, wow. Fucking outer space.
Chad's like fake news. Wow. What a ridiculous thing to be joking. I mean, I'm drinking water. I'm drinking water right now.
It's true, though.
It's not.
It's fucking true.
Oh, my God. I feel like I'm arguing with somebody on the internet right now.
Oh, my God.
Except you're in real life. Okay. Oh,
so serious.
Here's a good one. Here's a good one. You'll like this. Radar says, are you all a couple? And so, yeah, we are. And
whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, we're something.
We put up with each other every now and again.
Yeah, like for since like 2013. So however long that is. We live separately. We have our own lives. We have our own businesses. But yes, we are a couple. And does Steve rebuild any 604s for refreshing? I mean, yes, yeah. You rebuild for many different series. You
all
do
over the
series
country.
seals.
Everything but IMCA.
Right. What? Look at this. Like I'm being attacked by the curtain again. Yeah.
Yeah, everything but scammy IMCA.
Oh, you just stop it. Just stop it. Stop saying mean things.
No.
Mean things.
I say mean things.
Well, I know that. Yeah. Well, wow. You know, here's something I hadn't thought of before doing a live stream on both platforms. Now we have increased our chances of being kicked off more than one platform at a single time.
And we haven't even talked politics yet.
No, but yeah. Demonetization.
Don't say COVID on here because it's going on. You're gonna have like a little disclaimer at the bottom of the damn video.
No, don't be fact checking me. Stop it already. Stop. All right. Any other questions? Because we're right at about an hour. Yeah, I mean you didn't get out your big mug this week. You just went with little glasses, little pint glasses.
I just keep filling it up.
Yeah, it's like the never-ending beer. Oh, okay. All right. We got a couple of more questions here. But back still on Iowa, Chad says, that's why you don't believe Iowa exists. IMCA.
Well, that's true too. Does IMCA really exist?
You stop it.
We're
now.
not sure.
You stop it. I have a lot of wonderful customers that are IMCA racers. So,
I've got friends out in California that race IMCA.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I know it does exist.
Yes.
And California exists too. I know that.
Do they? Really?
For how much longer, we don't know. But
nobody knows.
They kind of sort of do.
Yeah, I don't know.
They're broke as shit.
Here we go. More racing as a long one here. He says, I was raced on a quarter-mile track high bank. Most people run an open motor. They are running 620 and 630 gearing. What gears do you recommend? I have a 2-speed Power Glide Ford 9-inch rear end.
And a modified, I assume.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. It looks like from his profile picture here, it might be a stock car.
Oh, it could be a street stock.
Yeah.
Car.
Well, yeah. I mean, and if that's going to be an IMCA stock car, that could be.
What engine?
Well, I don't know what engine. I'd have to look back on some other things, but he has a 2-speed Power Glide Ford 9-inch rear end. So I know I can see. I mean, if you wanted to tap in here more racing and let us know what engine you've got, but I'll try to discern it. Oh, he's asking about the mechanical fuel pump for a 602. So I'm assuming this is 602. Actually, I don't know of a stock car or hobby stock division that runs a 604, but I mean, that doesn't mean it doesn't exist.
Man, so I don't know. I don't know.
You're not really the gearing guy, to be honest.
Well, I mean, no. I mean, if you asked me about a half mile or quarter mile or a third mile in Carolinas, I could tell you, but
yeah,
I don't know. I'm sorry.
All right, here's another one. Dylan says ball spline versus slip yoke for crate racing. What I can tell you is I sell a lot of drive shafts, and I would say I probably sell more no slip yoke drive shafts than I do slip yoke. But some of that depends on rules. It depends on your.
I go with the winner's roller slide.
Yeah, I love my roller slide transmission.
Yeah,
but we've got some of those different opinions too.
That's what we use in our own house car. Is the roller slide. The burnt ball spline, I fucking hate it.
Yeah, But
I about broke my fucking leg with a burnt ball spline. So broke a freaking drive shaft. Or no, broke the freaking yoke.
oh, I remember.
Yeah, oh yeah, you remember me getting like I was hobbling around for like a week.
Well, what I also remember is because that was before you had a carbon fiber drive shaft.
No, that was a carbon fiber drive
Holy
shaft.
shit. And it did all of that because it took out everything.
It destroyed the whole damn interior of the car and took out my freaking knee.
Yep. And the
With a
bell
carbon
housing.
fiber.
And
Correct.
I mean, it was carnage from
broke
front
the transmission, broke the
Mhm.
freaking bell housing, broke everything up the damn engine. So yeah, the roller slide, I like that. Other than that, slip yoke.
But
Ball spline, fuck that.
well, and okay, so I don't know the answer to this question, but I know that when we were at the Race Logic Chassis seminar for the Crate late models, that
Dave's got his opinions on that too.
yeah, and he really likes the Gen 1 Burt. He doesn't like the Gen 2.
Well, he likes that and the Bren.
Yeah, he likes and a couple of guys liked the
I'm
Bren.
a big fan of the roller slide Falcon.
Yeah.
Because you know why? We haven't fucking broke one.
True. All right, Brian says, did you watch Biden having his mini stroke during the press conference?
Yeah.
I just caught a snippet. That's all. I didn't see that part.
Yeah, talk about it. Epic freaking jackass.
I don't know what I can.
God.
I don't know what I can even believe anymore. So
I don't know. I mean,
I don't know. All I know is that like when Foreign Policy was reading it off. I mean, I'm all about reading my index.
We should do a
cards
political show one night.
Yeah,
Just
we
for the
need
hell
to.
of it.
We need to find a different channel.
Like Wednesday night political show.
On a different channel.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll have to start a new.
Because that one
channel
jackass
for this.
complained about us that one time. What was his name?
Chris.
Trump 2020.
Chris was like, "You talk politics one more time. I come here for race car parts. I don't come here about like hearing about anything else." Way pre-election, midsummer.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't go well for. I don't think Chris is a viewer anymore.
No, probably not.
Yeah.
Fuck Chris.
My goodness. He still trying to be nice to everybody. Then again, he wasn't going to buy anything.
You're not going to try to monetize this on YouTube, are you?
Probably already is. Yeah. Yes. I got to try to make my $30 a month on YouTube.
That's right. Yeah.
It's like $130 a quarter. People think like you make all this money on YouTube or something, but
No.
obviously I make money from selling the parts that we talk about.
No,
and you make your money
joke.
from making the engines that people talk about.
Right.
But yeah, playing the YouTube deal. Speaking of YouTube, I will be doing some YouTube videos this week for my channel. Period. End of story. Happening. It's going to happen.
Oh, really? Oh,
Yeah, because I've just been so busy with all my race car stuff that I have not been able to be on my own channel. I've procrastinated, and then I'm like, so I'm going to do some fun things. I'm just going to like share some things in my life that I'm doing.
We'll do that.
Yeah. Like, what do you have a hidden superpower that most people don't know about you?
I don't know.
I do. I'm a master picture hanger. You knew that?
Yeah.
I am. I have literally hung hundreds, if not thousands of pictures. I'm very good at it. I've done it for years, and if I can be a master of something that's kind of ridiculous, that's one of the things. So I think I'm going to do a video with tips on how to properly hang pictures.
All right, do that.
I will.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously not on the Crate Insider channels or the Racing Insiders podcast.
I hope not.
No, it's going to be over on my Kate Dillon channel. People have been asking me some questions about Air BnB. I've been doing that
Because
for a
you're
year.
like boring the shit out of people right now with your whole picture.
I know they're.
like,
Oh my god! Wow, thank you for being so entertaining. I think we can wrap it up. Oh, okay, this is so good. Okay, we're gonna end with this.
Are we?
Yes, we are.
You sure?
I am. I'm
We can keep
positive.
going if you want to.
No, we're
I mean,
good.
it's been a good
we
show.
found this is the perfect comment.
It's been a damn good show.
Damn good show. But then we've got the perfect comment to end the show.
Okay.
And the perfect comment to end the show is from Chad, and he says, "You're all going to be laughing when you have to ship Val Springs to Lost Island next week." So, Chad,
do not be surprised if they don't fucking show up.
That's
all I got to
they got
say.
lost. They got lost. So, with that,
Even FedEx is gonna be like, "Where the fuck's that at?"
well, with that, I want to thank you all for being here. Thank you for being part of this experiment. This StreamYard thing, I'm very happy with. This worked out beautifully for us. And so, we're going to always continue to be improving our show. And if you've got any suggestions or questions, we are always open to that. And, hey, do us a favor. Go over to iTunes and give us a rating on the Racing Insiders podcast. Give us a 5-star rating over there so we can get some more viewers and, kind of build the podcast numbers. And then who knows what that's going to turn into.
You can build it up better than a couple of these dumbasses doing videos.
Yeah. Well, yeah. That's all I got. So.
Because there's a few dumbasses that got more viewers than we got on YouTube.
Oh, yeah. Well, oh, yeah. I know I'm trying to build them. I'm building all the things. Yeah. Meet people where they are. That's where I like to be. Right. And speaking of that, we'll be back here next Sunday. Our new time is 5:30 p.m. Eastern on Sunday.
Because it's actually light out.
Yes, going live on both Facebook and YouTube. I think the Streamyard thing is working. So, and then our podcast comes out on Monday. On Monday mornings, we publish the Racing Insiders podcast, iTunes, and all the different places with this particular show.
You know what's funny? Even friends of mine who don't know anything about racing listen to us sometimes.
Yeah, because
which is my friend Donald.
Yeah.
It's I listen to it on the way to work.
Awesome.
Why?
Awesome.
I say why.
Awesome. Although Brian thinks we should go TikTok live too. So.
Oh no, fuck that shit.
There we go.
I don't even know Chinese crap.
Wow. Wow. With that, we will sign off. And thank you for being here. We will see you guys next week. I will be back live on Tuesday at 2:00 for Top 5
And
Tuesday.
I'm going to do research and see if Iowa does exist this week.
Great.
So I'm actually going to I'm going to go to the history books.
Okay.
I'm going to try to research this shit and figure out if Iowa exists. If they do, I will recognize y'all next week.
Okay. There we go. See you guys soon. Have a great rest of the day. Bye.